All right, we are recording the alternative KWSS 93.9 FM. Dani Cutler show live on Zoom right now, and I have one of the most wonderful human beings on the planet with me, Matty Steinkamp of Mango Skies and the Indiefilmfest. Hello, my friend.
Thank you for having me, Dani.
How
It's
are
exciting
you?
to be here. Exciting to
I
be at this
know.
point in life.
Well, I just got to say right now, I miss you, and I'm very glad to see you.
I miss you too. I think this is such a unique way that we get to have this kind of interview. But I sure do miss coming to your studio office and hang out and the trek out east, to Dani's, to make
the
it on
pilgrimage to Gilbert.
There is something romantic about independent radio that every single interview I've ever done on any station with independent radio has been at either someone's garage or in their living room or in their home office, and I think that's some of the most awesome parts about being a fan of independent radio itself. So
yeah, it's very grassroots, and yeah, it's nice. It's wonderful. Yeah, I wouldn't change it for the world. I love having my home studio, and I mean, I definitely miss having actual bodies in it. We're going on a year now. So I know you feel it too, especially with your partner in crime, Tracy Strawberry Hedgehog, not having her shop open, I'm sure has just been killing her. So yeah,
it's we had a really tough year last year, like everybody else. We have a really powerful community that has supported us through, and we've been able to keep our businesses and haven't had to close our doors 100%. We are operating 100% online though right now.
Yeah.
Both with Strawberry Hedgehog's retail store and with everything that we're doing with the Indiefilmfest. So
that's right. Well,
I feel like we all had to adapt, right? Like we all had to do a big pivot.
Yep.
As they say, and we embraced it, and we said we're not going to be left behind on this thing, and we're not going to step backwards when we've worked so many years and so hard to get where we are.
Definitely.
Being entrepreneurs and owning our own businesses and having a brick and mortar, it's very complicated. Mm-hmm. And, we are very, very lucky to have awesome landlords. We're very lucky to have the systems in place that kind of helped us, get to a sustainable level so that if something like this happened, we had ways of, getting around it. We operate and run our own online service as it is. So this was just, kind of like, all right, we're going all in on it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're at. And to be fair, like we could not have done both the store couldn't have been surviving the way it is and the festival thriving the way it is if it weren't for just the amazing support with the community, with our friends that are not just here in Arizona, but all over the country and all over the world. We really are thankful and, we are the example of what happens if we can all get together to make these things last, these things that we want most. Our film festival specifically is an example of like, what it takes to get a community together to kind of get these things to happen without the government's help, without a major sponsor's help. This is an exciting time. I think it's beautiful. I think it's wonderful.
It is, silver linings. I always try and pull the silver linings out of something that, has affected everybody. Not one person would say that this pandemic hasn't affected them. And, we've all learned a lot coming out of it. So, yeah. So Indiefilmfest, that's right. I mean, my Facebook memories the past week has been filled with last year's Indiefilmfest photos and videos and things. And, you get it's a little bittersweet to see that because we were together, but very excited because you decided that, yes, we're going, you're going to have the Indiefilmfest this year, which is happening Thursday through Saturday. By the time this airs, we'll be in the second day of the Indiefilmfest. So this is going to air on Fridays. So yeah, already had its first night, we'll say at this point. So I'm putting you in the future, Matty. This is the third year of the festival. And how are things going to be different this year? Just a general overview of the festival.
Well, it's the festival's grown in ways that we really couldn't predict, and some of that has been because of the pandemic. Early on, we really dropped a lot of our fees and our accessibility to submit to the festival this year. So we wanted to make it really easy, for people to submit. While still having like a respectful criteria, that it's not just a free for all kind of thing. Um, we really, we're excited because we got over 300 submissions. So we really grew in the aspect of like, we're representing more countries this year than we ever have.
Nice.
And so we're having, our first international Spanish speaking film that is just going to blow the audience away. We're having our probably our largest pool of international filmmakers. That is, something that, we've always wanted to have the ability to bring amazing international films to our local scene and kind of show people what the rest of the world is doing in indie world. A lot of festivals that we've attended in the past, really, they'll show international films, but these are like major international films that you see there, major actors, major actresses. But we are really, interested in finding out, like, what are people doing on a zero budget kind of scenario? What are people doing, creatively that nobody else has thought about? And the international films that we have this year really exemplify that. There's a lot of great animation and stop motion animation that is featured in the film festival that you could really see that people during the pandemic might not have had access to, actors and actresses. And so they wanted to continue to tell their stories. And, showing this kind of like, almost like a snapshot of like what the creatives were making over the last 2 years is really exciting, because you can really see how the pandemic has affected some of them, some of the films. And then also, we really grew this year because of really embracing Made in Our Image as like our soul of like what we're going to try to really embrace and elevate, for years to come. And that's the work that they're doing with really trying to get a foot in the door for every single woman of color that is in filmmaking, faster, safer. They're really embracing workshops and finding ways to teach the younger generation of filmmakers to have an even, leaps ahead of some of their peers by going into film school with already talents that they've learned through Made in Our Image workshops. We've been really lucky to be a part of kind of the growth of Made in Our Image over the years by being mentors at their workshops, but also by supporting them with our film festival. Showcasing the films that come from the young ladies from Made in Our Image has always been, a gratifying moment for the festival. Showing, these young 14 and 15-year-old and 18-year-old and 20-year-old women are doing at such a high level that, I definitely wasn't doing when I was their age. I wasn't that good even in my 20s. And so just to see this like immense leap up in quality with the next generation, I think that's really, really shown in this year's festival, in the selections that were made this year. It's a different festival all around. It's all going to be online, so people are going to be able to stop it. That in itself, there can be rewind it. You can rewatch it. Those things you can't really do in the theater. In the theater, you're kind of locked in. So there is a little bit of, independence, it being in your home that is different. I do miss the collaboration and the communication that happens live. I know that that's going to be something that is missed. I know that the connections with people that you make at these events, shaking someone's hand or giving someone a hug or passing a business card off to somebody that is an actor or actress or a musician that could maybe collaborate with you in the future. We're hoping to really get people to get online and do that through our Facebook, comments, do that online through our Twitter comments, do that online through our Instagram comments, our YouTube comments. I think that if we can utilize these platforms for what they're worth and for good instead of some of the evil that maybe has been out there in the past. I think that this weekend could be really magical. You know, we really could connect with filmmakers from all over the world, with local musicians and local artists here, and as well as, you know, different people from the country can connect with each other.
Sure.
So I think that's really the key to this year, is just that, you know, we grew internationally. We grew with Made in Our Image, and our younger generation of filmmakers is really represented in a much bigger way this year than ever before.
That's fantastic. Are you still holding the workshops that you had in previous years and the panels?
Yeah, so we have a really amazing Saturday scheduled. We have every year we've had a women in filmmaking panel, and this year is no exception. We basically, starting at noon on Saturday, these videos will just start being released. They'll be released via a premiere on our YouTube channel. They'll be free for the public.
Nice.
There'll be a talkback panel with women in filmmaking. There'll be discussions with different filmmakers that are featured in the festival about their films. You know, my creative and business partner, Peter Juarez, you know, gives an entire discussion on what it's like being an indie filmmaker and a documentary filmmaker right now, and you know, kind of get her like behind the scenes, you know, feel of what she goes through when she's making a film. We also have these really fun how-to videos that we did for the workshops that our team came together just to write some really fun, you know, simple 1 minute, how to be a better independent director, independent filmmaker, how to make a better music video.
Nice.
And these things are things that we use. Like these are like helpful hints that as filmmakers and as award-winning filmmakers that we've learned from have really made a major impact in our filmmaking. So we said to ourselves, let's make videos and let's, you know, put it out on Saturday. I think we have like, I think 6 or 7 total discussion workshops.
Nice.
We have 2 how-to videos. We have a really great, and this is for all those, you know, hipsters out there, but Johanne Beckles, who is the 2020 winner for the best performance. She was the grandmother in Souls. She is by far the most tech savvy person I've met in this whole thing. I asked her if she would put together a discussion on what it's like, you know, preparing for a role as an actress, and what it's like, you know, being on set, you know, getting direction from a director, and try to give some advice out there for the young people and the up and coming filmmakers as well, to learn from an actress of her quality. And, you know, she sent me back this amazing, like, vertical, you know, story version of the discussion, and it's going to be live on our Instagram TV on Saturday exclusively. Like, you can't find it on anything else. She won't be talking to anybody else about this. Nice. It'll be on our Instagram, IGTV, and she's, you know, she's an icon, you know, you know, to all of us at Indie Film Festival. You know, like she had this role in Souls, directed by and written by Malachi, who is the founder of Made in Our Image, and it really changed a lot of our, you know, perspective of like how good an indie film could be. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, it's won awards at other festivals. It has had such a great success for the actors in it, and it's just so exciting to have someone of her quality, you know, do this for us. You know, take time out of her day and create this discussion video. She filmed it herself, and this is, you know, quarantine kind of thing, you know, like, yeah. You know, this is just, and it was just beautiful. So look out for that on Saturday. But other than that, you know, we're also interested. We're going to be having some secrets that are going to come out each day. You know, we have some surprises. There's some musical surprises, yes, that are going to happen that we're still confirming.
Nice, right to the last minute.
But yeah, it's an exciting weekend. We've really worked hard. The ladies from Made in Our Image have just done an amazing job of helping us and guiding us along the way to creating a better festival. They've had such a powerful experience with South by Southwest and Sundance that they've really brought this like just a wealth of knowledge, like hundreds of years of knowledge of actors and filmmakers that are made up in this organization that has really elevated the festival to what it's going to be. So I'm excited.
I'm excited too. It really sounds like, another silver lining for this time is that it actually opens some more doors for you when putting this festival together, because people have more time on their hands, a little more time. Yeah. Their calendars are not quite as full right now. I mean, things are starting to get a little more busy now as we're going on a year of this, but you're still able to get, people who you probably couldn't have gotten if there wasn't the pandemic. So, I think that's really fantastic. What can people expect? So we talked earlier about this, but we'll reiterate it again so that everybody knows. You don't have to buy one ticket for the whole weekend. How does the whole process work so that people can be part of the festival?
Oh, you do just buy one ticket for the whole weekend.
Okay.
Yeah. It's super easy. You spend $10 and then every single morning you'll get, if you buy the tickets before 7:00 on Thursday, tomorrow, you will receive a link, an email, and you'll receive a link and passwords to get you into that night's screenings.
Ah, okay.
It's super easy. You'll have this private link. You type in the password, it'll pop up. And on that page, you'll have a video that will populate at 7 p.m. And then you'll be able to read all through the descriptions of all the films. Every single morning after that, you'll receive another email for that night's films.
Okay.
If you buy tickets after 7 p.m., you won't receive the links that day. You'll receive an email the next morning.
Okay.
Talking about that next day's screenings, but you'll also have links from the day before.
Oh, good.
So you'll be able to watch the films all weekend long until Sunday at midnight.
Okay, good. Because this isn't going to post and air until Friday. So if somebody watches this and says, "Hey, I want to get my ticket," they can still do it.
Absolutely. And any, technically you can buy a ticket all the way up until it would make sense because it's almost 6 hours of movies. So you could all the way up till probably 4 p.m. on Sunday, you could still buy a ticket and watch all the films.
Okay, great. No, that's wonderful. I don't want people to be discouraged thinking, "Oh, it's started, so I can't participate."
Yeah. No, and if you go to the website, theindiefilmfest.com, it clearly will, it lists everything out for you, what's going on. We put new information out today. We're putting new information out tomorrow that will be, more descriptive of how it all works the day of. But yeah, it's super easy. You'll get an email, the link. Well, you can look it on your mobile, on your laptop. You can share it to a giant TV at your house. There's so many easy ways to watch. It's the easiest way to watch Indiefilmfest ever.
It's amazing. I'm excited. I've got my weekend blocked out. I told everybody, I said the TV is mine because I'm going to be casting it onto the television. I'm like, this is what we're doing this weekend. Sorry, everybody. But no, I'm super excited about it. You do have, it's not an event really, but you do have a more public display happening in the downtown area with some virtual, not virtual reality, but tell me about what's happening downtown.
Yeah. So if you are walking around downtown and, you're new to the city or you're looking for something unique to do, or you're just out there supporting one of the local businesses along Roosevelt Row, we've set up we'll be setting up tomorrow. They're called virtual portals. They're posters at the local businesses and they'll clearly state, the Indiefilmfest. There'll be a QR code on them that you can just walk up and scan that with your phone and it will link you right to our virtual program. And it basically connects you with the festival the same way as any kind of social media would, or if you just went to the website itself. But it's just another way that we're trying to get the connection with our community, with the filmmakers themselves. On our virtual program, there are links, and you can click on the person's name and go and follow the filmmakers either on their social media channel or subscribe to their YouTube channel. And it's really just one way that we're trying to elevate the filmmakers' profiles themselves and get, kind of like a little bit of like an outdoor feel, something new and virtual that we hope will really catch on, that, something as simple just by walking by this poster, take out your phone and scan it. And you can then, literally buy a ticket right then and there. You could go and sit in the park on your tablet and watch the films. You can go and look at all the different filmmakers' profiles, and learn what they're about, where they're from, what kind of films they've made before, what they're working on now.
Nice.
It's just a really cool interactive way that we feel that is so simple that, we did last year with a couple of the films. And this year we're doing it, really to drive as much attention to the filmmakers that are part of the festival.
Sure. It's a way to still be interactive when we can't all be together. So I think that's fantastic.
And Roosevelt Row is such a beautiful thing this time of year. The weather is gorgeous. It's a great time, to get out a little bit of the house, and kind of get some social distancing, and get some exercise in. I definitely love being able to go all the way from one side of Roosevelt to the other and stop by maybe one or two of the coffee shops, or stop by one of the little boutiques and just say hi and spend, $10-15 in there just to make sure that, they're making it through this time. These daily habits that we've kind of like lost over the year. This is like one way that we're trying to, bring back that love for the locals.
Nice. That's wonderful. So it's happening all this weekend. It ends on Saturday. And what about anyone who is watching or listening and would like to submit for next year? How does the submission process work?
Yeah, so there's definitely several ways to submit. The easiest way, the fastest way to submit is by signing up on Film Freeway, becoming this is one way of also becoming a professional filmmaker, or getting into the festival world, to get your stuff out there to the world. But you go to filmfreeway.com is the platform we use, and you start your own profile. You can upload your film securely on their website, and you can submit by going to our film festival and look for our posts when we say it's time to submit. We have several different ways of submitting for free, through different waivers through KWSS that we do, or through different programs, but it usually ranges anywhere between $10 all the way up to $50, depending on what time of year. The closer we get to the end of the selections, the more expensive it gets, because the more time we're needing to go back and see, should this film be in our selections compared to the others,
right?
As well as it takes people working, and we have to pay our selection committee members, or rather we have to pay for the services that we're really providing. The websites, the organization of the whole festival is pretty much like self-operated. Yeah. And so these submissions help operate that side of it, so that we can come out to a festival and have 100% of the tickets get donated to the organization that we want the most.
Yep. I don't know anything about self-operated organizations. Nothing at all.
Well, I guess the submissions itself 100% cover all the operating costs.
Yeah, yeah.
And so and we don't, our festival directors don't get paid. We don't take a salary. We're all doing this out of the love of our heart. Yeah. But there are costs, websites. Operating a website with multiple pages, securely in the year 2020, having a Vimeo account that you can upload, gigabytes of footage onto, having a Google Drive that can accept these things and house all the films. All those things cost money, and it's kind of like we really feel like that's such an easy thing. And what we did this last year was, we gave out, I think, 100 free waivers to filmmakers this last year.
Nice.
And it's by far our biggest waiver year yet. I think we gave something like $14,000 in discounts.
Nice.
If you add it up, because of the 300 filmmakers.
Sure.
And that's just comparing it to our other local film festival, friends.
No, I understand. Yeah. And it's very necessary, especially right now, because they are indie filmmakers and they're scraping everything together that they can just to produce their art. So I completely understand. So good for you. I also want to give a shout out to specifically the music video selections, because people tend to forget that music videos they are a film. They are a short film. And we were talking, Matty, you and I, about how we would love to get the community more involved in submitting their music videos. So we just want to make our musicians listening, especially our local scene, more aware of that they have a place to have their art showcased and seen to a very wide variety of people.
Yeah, we have I think this is such a great, tool that we have with KWSS and Indiefilmfest collaboration, that, we really have the chance to give exposure to some amazing independent artists here in town. And, it does blow my mind how many people don't take advantage of this, how easy it is to send you a music video and how easy it is to send me an email of how to get on the film festival.
Right. Exactly. So yeah,
all of our contacts are listed on the websites. And, this year we're screening 10 music videos.
Yep.
We typically screen about 10 music videos each year. But this year, is no exception, that we have some amazing music videos this year.
Definitely.
And yes, some submissions didn't make it. And
that's how it goes. That's
how it goes. Absolutely. Yeah. But you get to see you get to see what Arizona's doing right now in the music world, along with the international world. And it's very similar. You can really see some common threads of style, of cinematography, of storytelling. I think there's this one film, I can't say the name because we're on radio, but the title of it is basically F Down.
Yes.
But it's from Spain, and it is one of the most beautifully choreographed cinematic music videos, but I guarantee people will have a tough time watching it.
Yeah.
It is some very striking, imagery in it. And even YouTube has a disclaimer on it that says, some people might feel this is inappropriate. And I really love that.
You're right.
I love that about independent music. I love that about indie films, that there are some things that are going to make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. It's going to push that envelope.
Yes.
Definitely.
I do think that's what Indiefilmfest is working harder to find, is more creative, in-depth ways of making people feel uncomfortable while having some type of resolution that gives them to feel empowered to be creative.
Yeah. And it makes them think, you want the uncomfortableness because you want them to think about it. You don't just want them to, oh, I don't like this, or it's making me uncomfortable, so I'm going to ignore it. No, you want them to think about the reason that they're uncomfortable, or the reason that the artist is portraying their music in this way, or even in the films, not just in the music videos, but in any film. I appreciate that because I want to be challenged. So yeah. So, all right. Well, the Indie Film Festival is at the time that we are talking and having this out there for everyone to see. It is happening now through Saturday. And the Indiefilmfest.com, yes, I'm in radio, is where you can get your tickets and join the fun. I'll be watching all weekend. So if you follow along on all of our social media as well, you'll see me probably talking about some films and putting my own little clips together of what I'm doing and what I'm watching. So I'm excited. Matty, this is great. I'm so glad it's still happening.
Thank you so much, Dani. Yeah, we're here. We're here. We're in the middle of it all. And
and then he disappeared.
Let's try that again there.
Oh my God, I'm totally leaving it in because it's hilarious. It's so independent.
Oh man, the camera turned off.
Like, you're done talking. They're telling us, the camera is telling us we need to wrap it up.
Like I said, we gotta, it's a work in progress. What were we talking about?
Oh, I was just saying, I'm really glad that this is happening.
Oh yes. Yeah, me too. I'm so glad to finally be here. this is, you know, I really hope that people get out and look at the website and just take it all in and watch the films and rewatch them and talk about them online and share their home, you know, like selfies of them watching the films.
Yeah.
Comment on, we are going to have contests. We're going to be having contests all weekend long.
Oh, good.
Strawberry Hedgehog is going to be doing contests as well and giveaways with us. Our goal right now is to help Made in Our Image get to 500 tickets sold in the festival. That's our big goal. You know, we're almost to 100. So I mean, like we're close to getting there already. You know, a day before the festival started, and it's just exciting.
And that's fantastic for a virtual event. I mean, that's really great when you just have no idea how it's going to go. So that's a great starting point there. So
Sundance had 600,000 people.
You know what?
Festival.
It's okay. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
That's amazing, though. That is amazing for independent art, you know? 600,000 people around the world got to see the highest level of independent art this year.
That's true. It's fantastic. All right, Matty. Well, thank you for joining me for a little while today. And I'll see you probably online all weekend posting and everything. So.
Well, thank you, Dani. And thank you for always supporting independent films. We really love you and we're really thankful for you.
Independent goes a lot further than just music. So, all right. Thanks, Matty.